Hey everybody, today we have Anabelle on the show. And Anabelle, thank you for taking the time out to be
welcome.
with us and
Happy to be here.
And to do this for us. What really made me, you probably don't know this and I've never mentioned this, I think. What made me really be very grateful for what you're doing for people by opening up these restaurants and stuff is that when Kim met in an accident about 5 years ago, I know you sent me a message and said, come over, we have a gift for her, and you gave me all those juices, and you were genuinely concerned about her health, although you probably didn't really know her back then. And I just want to thank you for doing that.
Most welcome.
And I've been a regular customer.
Yes, and I do see you guys in my CCTV. No.
That's right, I know.
No,
so there's this spot that we used to sit, and then you sent me a text and said, "Hi, are you in the restaurant?" I was like, "Yes," and that's great. Nice to know you're being watched.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you passionate about?
I always believe that for people to enjoy their life, people always say YOLO, you only live once, no matter what age. End of the day, I always just wish people that you'll be healthy, because whether you're rich, you're poor, you're middle class, you are what race, what age, if you're not healthy, there's no way you can enjoy anything that you're doing, whether you're passionate about exercise or traveling. Travel takes a lot of energy, and so I always wish people like good health, happiness, love, so if possible, I would always recommend people to, I always give advice like, hey, you need to exercise or you need to eat better, since before I started the business. And so it was quite a natural, progression that when I saw the opportunity that none of the Malaysian brands are doing green juices or something that would be a shortcut to having a healthier meal, that was my opportunity. I said, God, I just want to make a company that will make Malaysians healthy. And so here we are, 6 years after. And I'm very grateful that there are Malaysians who indeed recognize that I want to do this, and I can't do it on my own. They don't want to cook at home, or they don't want to make their own juices. So in the end, they do come to our brand. And so with that kind of support, we've kind of grown over the years. And thanks to people like you, people who also have started to realize that, yes, you can be passionate about many things, but end of the day, your body has to be healthy for you to be able to carry out that passion.
That's right. And were you always this way?
No. So I was born in Manila, where we eat rice, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I grew up that way, eating breakfast, lunch, dinner with rice. And at that time when you're young and you're growing your career, you just eat anything and it could come off anytime. But the moment you hit 30, I realized that, wait, it's not coming off as easily as before. And now that I'm 40, it's even harder. But one of the things that made you realize that you want to be better, to me personally, I feel, especially the women, women will know this. Once you have children, the immediate need that you have to prolong your life becomes more obvious than before. Wow. So before it used to be, Anabelle, I am responsible for myself, let me enjoy and do whatever I want. But the moment you have children, you start to think, what do I do to live longer, to be there for the day that they get married, they have children? And so I feel that this is one of the stages in life that women, even men, once they have children, they suddenly feel this thing that they've never felt before. And so then they start to think about exercise and what to eat. Most of the time, the people who discover all this healthy food that we do, it's either A, they go through life changes, which is having children, or they have doctor's recommendation that your cholesterol is too high, you got to change your lifestyle, which is already on the verge of, it's like a little bit like warning signs, or when it's already too late, when somebody in the family has had something. And so the awakening is so real that they start to take care of themselves because they see pain. as part of that journey. So these are the customers that I've met over the years. Either they discover through, of course, we've got all these fun people who discover us through Instagram, through social media, through convenience. That's the other one. But we've had all these people who went through this journey with us. And I always try to share to people that in as much as we all exercise, which I think is great, and there are more and more boutique gyms, just like you, boutique places where they can work out in comfort. But exercise is only, I would say to myself, I think it's only 30% of the game.
I'd say it's 20%. And
20%.
It's 80% nutrition and what you eat.
Yes, and nutrition plays a very big role because you can kill yourself with exercise and sweat all day and carry the most heaviest things. But at the end of the day, what you put in is either canceling out everything or it's polluting your body. So the reality is Malaysia is a heaven for good food. It's not possible to say, do not eat, because you live once, this is your life. But if you have the chance to eat better at every meal, or at weekdays at least, you should. If you were to make it on your own, or to come to our La Juicera places, or go to other places that have this convenience. And I see a lot of brands popping up already doing this. It is something that you could do for yourself. I know the choice is hard, especially when you're eating your salad, and here you have a colleague eating a nasi lemak or a char kway teow or the mee goreng and all that. But if you analyze very carefully what you're about to put into your body, and you watch all these films, which I'm very thankful, like Netflix has all these documentaries, I feel that when you're educated, then you start to make better decisions. So reminder from videos to Instagram to social media, I think showing people that it can be done becomes something that will drive you. So when I see J-Lo at 50 with that body, I am also dreaming that I could be half like her when I hit 50. You can help me.
And you're on the way there. You're taking care of yourself.
I hope so.
And you mentioned food, and people always have the decision to choose what they want to eat. And I've always believed that everything you eat either brings you closer to your goals or brings you further away. It's not about always eating salads and greens, because you want balance. And in your restaurants as well, I can come here and have fries, right?
Yes,
you do have fries,
we do
right?
have fries with truffle mayo sauce.
Exactly, and that's simply because there's balance, and you want to be able to not impose healthy eating on anyone, and you've created a very safe space here, because someone can come and eat their fries, and someone can come and have their salad if they wanted to, which is pretty amazing. Great. So speaking of food, what is your favorite go-to comfort food?
Okay, so
let's hear all the bad stuff.
Bad stuff. Okay, bad stuff. So I think all the women will agree with me that we love dessert. I love dessert. It's just something that is indulgent, and it's something that completes my meal. And so I used to, chocolates is something that every now and then I would be looking for. And these, cakes and cheesecake, all these things are very attractive with coffee. It's just something that I can't resist. But over time, you realize that sugar is what it is, and that once in a while you treat yourself to something indulgent. So I don't deprive myself from dessert, especially after a very killer yoga session, and there are times for celebration. Birthdays, we would have birthday cakes, and
so you don't go around saying that I don't eat this.
No.
You,
in fact, I do see a lot of these people, and I don't like to make people uncomfortable. And before, there would be people who would think that, hey, what would you like to eat since you run a healthy place? I said, look, I eat everything, but since I started La Juicera, I stopped eating beef. So that's been 6 years, and I feel really happy about it. I do miss it, but I just feel so much better not having it by watching all the films. Why all this steak and red meat, how they are produced, how they are using all the resources, but also because my cholesterol levels have gone down. So did I ever imagine Anabelle not eating steak? No, to be honest, never. But But the moment you have decided, I think when you are educated and you have made a decision, it's a very powerful thing where you kind of, especially when you state it out, and that's why it's good to have gym buddies, to have friends, because when you say something out, then it becomes a reality, and then you kind of follow through with it, and I haven't had beef for a long time, and I do love my steaks. And you know, rice is another thing. I love rice. I was born eating rice every day, 3 meals a day. But at the moment I hit 40, I started, okay, I've heard people eating once a day rice. Let me try that out. And that's why we have quinoa fried rice in La Juiceria, because every time I'm here, if I cannot have my rice, I will have quinoa fried rice. At least it's the closest thing to a fried rice.
I love fried rice, by the way.
So
to have quinoa fried rice, I think it's brilliant.
So the keto bowl is another thing. So instead of rice, what you have is all these cauliflower, and it's made into fried rice. So we are looking into making it maybe more options, more variety, because it's like a rice on its own as a base. So what do you eat with rice, right? So these are the things that we created to make it easier for people to eat healthy, and it's tasty. You know, Malaysians want tasty food. So if you can make it at the right price, at the right taste, they will appreciate it and they don't feel scared. You know, when we started Goodness Green, one of my first feedback from customers is that, do you know the guys don't want to come in because it's called green. It's called green, Goodness Green.
Sounds too healthy. Eat there.
So that was one of the reasons why Goodness Green stayed as Goodness Green, and the future outlets we opened is all called La Juiceria Superfoods.
Good.
Because green was just too healthy. It
scares people away. And you know what, here's the thing, right? It's the same thing about gyms and working out as well. People tend to fear working out. So we've realized, I don't know whether you realize, but we have a tagline for our gym. It's called the gym for people who don't like gyms. So in a way, your healthy restaurant is like the healthy restaurant for people who don't like healthy restaurants.
Yes.
Right? So it's great. So I see what you've done there. And tell us about your fitness routine. You currently exercise. You're doing something that you enjoy. You want to tell me a little bit more about that?
So it took me a while to also find something that I can do regularly, because the trick of the thing is that you have to be regular. It cannot be, I think once a week is too little, to be honest, as part of exercise. It has to be something that you can commit to maybe 3 times a week, if not more. So when this Life Hut Yoga moved to Mont Kiara, I was like, I was so happy because it's easy to park. They're really serious about this infrared hot yoga rooms. And when, as a busy mother, when I committed an hour or an hour and a half to a workout, I want to make sure I really get the workout that I need. So whenever I go to their sessions, you really sweat buckets, and every session you will sweat buckets. So what you want is to make that 1 hour matter. And whenever I go there, there's instructors are really like serious people. The customers are very regulars, and of course we do welcome all these newcomers, but this is really a room for people who want to have results. So I do yoga if I could every day. There are exceptions. You know, I'm human. There are days you're not feeling well. There are days it's just too busy. There are days that I have to stay back and tutor my kids. So there are days I have to just give it up and say, okay, you know what, I'll do double session, or I'll do 1 in the morning tomorrow and 1 in the evening. So the reality is, I can't do every day. I try to. But if I don't get to do it, then what do I not eat on that day so that I kind of make it up and balance? So I find that if you could stick to something, especially if you have a group or somebody who can encourage you, please do that. But not everyone has the luxury of a buddy that's always there. So I'm very lucky that this yoga studio opened just down my street. I could walk there, I could drive there. And if you do find that kind of group or support group, that is the one that really makes you come back. That makes you come back. And then of course when you see the result, wow, you're addicted. You can't get away from it, and you really want to kind of keep on going back.
So people don't realize that all these things are important, and it's it's allowed you saw the results, so you were able to stick with it. And we're talking about Live Hot Yoga,
Yes,
correct?
Live Hot
So
Yoga.
these are great people. If you ever head over to Live Hot Yoga, say Noel and Anabelle sent
Yeah.
you. And it's important to find a place that works for you, a place that treats you with respect, a place that caters the program for you. What made you choose Live Hot Yoga?
Okay, so I've tried many kinds of exercise. I'm a
Got
very
it.
adventurous person, you know.
You came to our place
Yes,
too?
yes, I've tried. Oh, my thighs were dead the next day after that workout. I go around to try because I want to know what's the best for me, and
Yeah.
I encourage people to please try. I think a lot of the studios are very generous in letting people try, because until you have gone, then you only know how it feels. Are you comfortable? Are you excited? Do you feel great? Do you love their toilet? You know, these are the things that matter, at least to women. And so I've tried many places, and some of them felt perfect in terms of the workout, in terms of the welcome, but it's just too far from my place. Or some of them felt that, oh, you know what? This is not for me. I'm a little bit old. I have to kind of watch after my bones and all that. So I've tried HIIT workouts. I've tried doing all kinds of yoga. I've tried the Pilates. I've tried circuit training. I've tried, you know, the kickboxing stuff and all that. I think it's nice. It's creative, and they're trying to make workout more fun.
Yeah.
And I think by making it fun, then people don't feel like, oh, I'm going back to a routine.
But it doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah, but
right?
it doesn't work for everyone. So be adventurous to try, and find something that you feel comfortable as an environment, and feel that you can commit to driving there every day, park your car,
Yeah.
get down,
Yeah.
do your stuff, and then get out, you know.
Yeah.
So I find that until you go, you won't know.
Yes.
And you please take advantage of all these tools that are out there that allows you to try. And
Yeah.
I do think that the self-workout is great. Like my husband is an ultra-marathon runner. They run on their own, or they run in groups. But that is for them.
That was for him.
It's running, right? So, but for me as a lady, I really need to see everyone with me. And it's very encouraging, especially at yoga classes, that I see older people doing the pose that I can't do. Or at HIIT classes, when I see older people who are doing the thing, like, wow, I want to aim for that. So find what's comfortable for you, and
Yeah.
and I'd love to try all these new things, but I have to also be conscious. I've got 1 hour a day. I want to make sure I get the best result, and also I have to take care of what I can do physically and cannot do. I cannot jump into something
Yeah.
that is I'm not trained to, and also I like that the smaller groups are great, because then you have the attention of the instructor.
Now, have you ever had a fitness experience that you did not enjoy?
Yes.
Without naming anyone.
Yep,
let's say,
yep.
Like, yeah, what did that feel like? What was
It felt sad because I almost injured myself. So this is the one that I always tell people, that be comfortable in what you're doing, and if it's not, then you owe it to yourself to know that this is not meant for you. So I've met people who said that their mothers worked out somewhere and they got injured. Because when there's social pressure, you know, when we go to your gym or we go to other gyms, you see other people, I'm gonna do this. But we have to be conscious of how far we can bring it. And so because I'm adventurous, I've tried many things that I've never done before. And because of that, I've also discovered aches and pains that I've never had before. And you kind of go back and try to analyze, okay, Anabelle, you're not 30 something anymore. Maybe this is not meant for you. And I've given feedback to these people just to let them know that this is what happened. But I myself would just pick and choose, like, okay, you know what? I think I want to do intensive, but in yoga form, which I find is very perfect for me. And mentally and physically, I feel really it's my time, my me time when I'm there. So continue to find something that works out for you. Don't stop, because the physical exercise is not replaced by just eating well. Eating well, yes, is 80%, but that sweating out, the detox, when your sweat comes out, when what you feel when all this blood circulation is happening, it doesn't get replaced by just eating well.
And what is your secret, or what would you say to someone who's looking at this and saying that I don't have the time?
Okay, I always tell people, you and me and the people who are really, really successful, we are all the same. We are all built the same with 24 hours in a day. We sleep 8 hours a day, if not less. But we all have the same time, and it's a decision. And I think if you've seen very successful people, whether it's Bill Gates or Steve Jobs or all these people, it's about time management. It's about wanting something badly that you do it. So same as when I wanted to do this company, I wanted it so badly that every single day you woke up, you were thinking how to make it to touch more people. So this decision for yourself to exercise or to eat better is down to yourself. It's down to you verbally saying it, writing it, committing to it, telling your friends about it, so that you push yourself to take that first step. And the first step is the hardest, because people will laugh at you, you will doubt yourself, you will say you don't have time, you will say this is too hard for me. But when you have committed, when you have said it out loud, you're like, oh my God, did I just say that? And you will be pushing yourself to something that you owe to yourself to do. And if you haven't tried it, please do. If not, read up, get your gang, sign up somewhere, and really try it and commit to it for a week, and you'll see how different you'll feel. There are always people who have excuses, and I feel that these are people who they will come up with all kinds of things to say why they can't.
Did you give excuses to yourself?
Yes, before, when I was very busy, I would only exercise once a week, if not once in 2 weeks. But the moment that, again, when you've made a decision, when I had children, that was your decision on, guys, I gotta do this differently. I can't be continuing my excuses anymore. I have to live for my children. And so I have to do the right things to prolong so that I can be here when the time comes. And so everyone will have their secret bullet, whether it's their children, their health, upcoming marriage, you want to meet a boyfriend, a girlfriend, I don't know, whatever it is. Find that secret reason why you want to do this, and always have that picture of success in front of you, because that will really drive you. I look at J-Lo's Instagram whenever I'm free, then I'm like, oh my God, I want to get there. I want to get there when I'm 50. But meantime, what can I do? I eat better. I try to commit to my exercise every day. If I don't make it, then you make it up somehow. But the worst is really if you don't do anything. That is a decision on its own, that you have made an excuse. You have chosen not to do anything about your health, whether it's exercise or food. And when you're lying down there one day, not able to move, then you will think about all the regrets. So it's sad when we see customers who reach that point of no return when they are unhealthy because of certain reasons. So don't get there. Don't get there. You woke up today, you're healthy, your brain is working, your body is working. Go out and get exercise and eat better.
Has anyone told you could be a life coach?
No, it's just you read all these things, and all you gotta do is psych yourself and surround yourself with these positive messages every day. If it's through Instagram, it's through friends, it's through colleagues, it's through watching stuff, do it and surround yourself. Because if you do it, the more you're psyched to, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. But if you surround yourself with the people who pull you down, then you
So who's lifting you up? Who are you surrounding yourself with?
First, I created a monster. My husband was, before La Juiceria, he was a Caucasian who was eating Malaysian food for many years and gotten fat. And then he started running. He did a juice cleanse first. Then he did a half marathon, full marathon. He's an ultra marathon runner now.
So before that he never used to run?
No. He didn't run, and I would nag him like a typical nagger wife. Honey, go and exercise. I'm tired today. Don't ask me to go to the treadmill. So it was always like that. And then when I started La Juiceria, we had our own transformation. When I saw this for ourselves, what can I do for other Malaysians who are in this situation? They're working, they're earning their money, they're tired at night, they are not eating well. So what can I do to help? So I created this company. He was my first customer. Now he's the one who's very anal about eating vegetarian, about exercising, about getting up and go out there, dragging our kids to nature walks, to Taman Tun, to walk around, to really be exposed to what's out there. So I encourage people to surround yourself with either through family, or if your family is not that kind, then get your friends, get people. So if you don't know anyone, which is sometimes the situation, surround yourself with social media that has all these encouraging messages. So I like to follow Tony Robbins, and you've got all these other people who have...
Are you following me?
Yes, he has a lot of controversial stuff, which is really fun to read, because sometimes it's great, like Milo, then you see, he's talking about juice today. He's talking about food, he's talking about rice. So I think these are constant conversations. Surround yourself. If you don't have friends, you have social media, you have Netflix, you have all these things. Watch it. Game Changers, I really highly recommend it. And a few of the films that really changed my life before I started La Juicera was Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead. Until today, I still recommend it to people. You see the transformation of a very tired Caucasian, fat and very dependent on drugs because he had allergies and all that. And within 60 days of eating having a juice cleanse and a vegan diet, he transformed to somebody good looking and muscular. So I'm not asking you to transform all the way, but I'm asking you to take that first step. The first step is the hardest. The first step of starting a company, the first step of having your first child, the first step of starting a new job on the first day. These are all hard things. And so don't let the hard part stop you. Let the inspiration and the proof and the science that says you will feel so much better, you will live so much longer, you will feel so much happier and more confident. I think this is one of the things that people, I see that at least for the people who need to lose some weight or need to improve, you will gain so much confidence by just being better at something, whether it's point, and it will give you the confidence that that turbo boost that you need.
And you're right, the hardest thing to do is to start. They always come because I want to lose weight, help me lose weight, sure. But the months go down the road and then they realize that it's not about the weight. It's about all these other things. It's the confidence, it's that their lives have turned around. Some people get married, some people finally get children, and it's like it's all tied in.
And this health and nutrition and exercise, it's tied to a lot of the problems that we have today in terms of we have pollution. Our stress levels are so much higher than before. We've got, haze in Malaysia. We've got all these other things going in our modern lives. And true enough, this children thing, a lot of people who couldn't bear children cannot understand why. It's not because they cannot, but because of all these lifestyle changes. So one of the things that you can do to yourself to protect yourself you cannot move away from stress, nor move away from social media or your WhatsApp or your email, because that's part of life. But what you can do is have that moment. And when you exercise, when I'm in my yoga room, there's no way I'm going to bring this phone. It's not allowed. And when you're exercising your HIIT or whatever it is, there's no way you're going to be looking at your phone because you're out of breath already. So have that 1 hour for yourself, because not only is it good physically, but mentally, and a lot of mental issues nowadays. So I feel that this 1 hour that you commit is something you can do for yourself. And really it's that moment where everything else doesn't matter except this goal that you're trying to achieve. So people have now information on their hands. In the old days, we follow the news. Whatever is in the news, eggs are bad, eggs are good, eggs are bad. We just keep on consuming what people say. But today, you can make your own research. You can Google up your own thing. You can follow whoever you think is the best person out there and be inspired with that. So choose your own adventure. The worst scenario is not to choose to do anything.
Great. And you were telling me just now about something that La Juicera is about to do. So, you want to tell us about that?
So we're very excited because you see, the whole reason we started the company was to make Malaysians healthy. And we do see the opportunity for people to be healthier, especially when they go home. So I think lunchtime is no problem because you can kind of go out. When you're working Monday to Friday, it's easy to go out and buy something or you tapao something from your home. But it's always at the end of the day when you're tired, you've gone through a whole day of stressful things, and you want to go home to either you go do your exercise and then eat, or you just go home to your family. So we wanted to introduce something where if you come to La Juicera from 4 to 6 p.m., you can get a 20% off on anything you order, everything you order, takeaway or dine in this 4 to 6 p.m. to either just make it a habit for them to tapao back something home or choose to eat healthier after their gym. And this will be something for weekdays, because weekdays is when we really need, there's 5 days in a week that you can get it right.
20% is a lot.
Yeah, I know it's a lot, and it's something that I feel very passionately about. And thank you so much for all those people who have supported us all this time. I do see customers really coming for Meatless Mondays, and so this one is really an extension of that. But then it's daily 4 to 6 p.m. Just make it a habit to buy something and take it home and eat it healthy, whether after your workout, before your workout, or with the family. So we're working on it for this year, and we're launching it this November.
Okay, is there anything that I should have asked but I haven't asked you?
No. So I'm always just about everything in moderation. I think this is always a message for people, so that you don't feel scared, you don't feel too excited or too afraid of trying something. Get it started, get it running, and then you kind of decide what you want to do. So in everything that we do, whether it's eating or exercising or anything, even in investments, and here I always find that do it in moderation, and then later on when you're deep in, then you kind of know, I want to go all the way. Either it's fully vegetarian, or fully like, okay, I'm gonna go all the way with HIIT classes because this has really formed my muscles, or it's really to commit to something. But don't do something over excessively. Everything in moderation. That's always the rule.
Great. And how can our viewers and listeners connect with you online?
Oh, okay. All our Instagrams are really active. La Juicera, we've got Super Saigon, and we've got Hawker Hall, the new place. And of course, I'm on Instagram too. You can message me anytime. I'm more than happy to share any tips or anything, because it's always about a journey, right?
Thank you for all that you do for Malaysia.
Oh,
in case no one has thanked you before, I want to thank you.
This is the most, I think, rewarding. The most rewarding moments is not like, okay, I'm very happy, we've got a lot of employees, we're employing people, but the happiest moments were when customers came to me and said this magical word, thank you for doing what you do, because you're making it easier for us to be healthy. So please do think that it's easy to be healthy. Either do it on your own. I always tell people, if you can juice on your own, make your salads at home on your own, please, by all means, do it. But if you don't have the time and you didn't have the resources because you're eating alone at home, it's hard to meal prep for yourself. We're trying to get everything covered so that it's easier for you to order and eat healthy.
Yeah, so no more excuses.
No more.
No
excuses.
Thanks, Anabelle.
Yeah, most welcome.